Microsoft was founded in 1975, the worldwide leader in software, services, and solutions that help people and businesses realize their full potential. The company developed the Microsoft Commerce Server, which, like many of its products, works well in a Windows environment. In early 2007, the company decided to deploy Microsoft Office SharePoint Server, or MOSS, 2007 for integrating the e-commerce functions of its new websites with an ERP system from SAP AG. Microsoft Visual InterDev provides development environment for building e-commerce websites. It helps to write both active server pages and normal HTML pages. Roles of e-business. Electronic commerce. Electronic commerce, or e-commerce, is the financial side of e-business conducted over the Internet. Its main purpose is to conduct transactions without geographical barriers. Internet marketing. Internet marketing provides businesses with an expensive way of connecting with customers globally through interactive websites, email newsletters, online surveys and forums, blogs, and discussion groups. Customer relations. E-businesses engage in customer relationship management to strive to provide customer value superior to their competition. Human resources. E-business simplifies the human resources service with one management source. It ensures that you are working with the most current information. In the modern world, e-business applies to both large and small businesses in electronic commerce for buying, selling, marketing, as well as customer relations and management services. Now the question is, e-business management essential for business processes and the ease in finding new markets? Hello all, and welcome to this lecture on e-business management, where we will understand how e-business management supports the business activities, improves a business's productivity, and increases revenue. After the lecture, we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the concept of e-business and its management. Describe the difference between e-business and e-commerce. Understand e-business payments and its security. Discuss Internet security and network security. Describe the legal, ethics, and privacy issues in e-business. Let's start with a brief introduction to e-business management. The Internet is changing the international economy. By exploring the abilities and possibilities of information technology, computers, and communication networks, which have created a way for organizations to transform their business and activities, enhance their relationships with their partners and other stockholders, and create new market opportunities. The ease and worldwide usage of the Internet has increased the challenge and competition between organizations to invent and create new methods to be leaders in e-business. Management is the process used to accomplish organizational goals through planning, organizing, directing, and controlling organizational objectives. Let's discuss e-business. This is a method of running a business using the Internet where all the financial transactions can be conducted over the web with suppliers and customers online. Industrially, e-business is defined as all about cycle, speed, globalization, enhanced productivity, reaching new customers, and sharing knowledge across an institution for competitive advantage. E-business versus e-commerce. E-business and e-commerce are terms that are sometimes used interchangeably, and sometimes they're used to differentiate one's vendor's product from another.
Words like e-commerce or electronic commerce are often thrown around in all sorts of places, but to properly understand them, we must first go back to 1957. 1957, the birth of the Internet, and the framework for the digitization of our society. Although, at this point, the Internet was very much restricted to military and government uses, so we'll have to fast forward 32 years. And here we are, 1989, the year that affects us most. The Internet goes public. The birth of the internet. Increasingly, the internet has been seen to govern our lives, and almost every aspect of life has been computerized, from doing research for a college paper, socializing with friends, gaming, or just as a means of a time sink. It's no surprise that buying and selling have also taken to the internet, which is exactly what e-commerce is. Today, e-commerce, or electronic commerce, can be defined as any sort of transaction made on the internet. So if you've bought something online, whether physical or electronic, then you've engaged in e-commerce. This can include buying directly or buying through affiliates or agents. If you've sold something online, again, whether physical or electronic, then you've also engaged in e-commerce. This can include selling on your website, selling through social networking sites, selling through an auction site, and many, many more. E-commerce can be between a business and customers, also known as B2C. B2C is what you've most likely been involved in. E-commerce can be between businesses and other businesses, for example, one company buying hardware components from another. And it can also be between customers, for example, people selling through an auction website. This is known as P2P. E-commerce provides a simple platform to do business with countries other than your own. Long gone are the days where business was confined to your city and where your audience was also confined to your city. E-commerce is huge.
Economic forces. The internet is a global network. The use of the internet for commercial purposes as an e-business is therefore subject to significant network effects or demand-side scale economies. E-business models. The e-business model, like any business model, describes how a company functions, how it provides a product or service, how it generates revenue, and how it will create and adapt to new markets and technologies. E-business management and capabilities. In a successful business, all of its business model components work together in a cooperative and supportive fashion. Although an e-business is often thought of as e-commerce, there are other types of online activities that fall under the definition of e-business that can benefit. E-business concept. The e-business concept describes the rationale of the business, its goals and vision, and products or offerings from which it will earn revenue. Value proposition. A value proposition may include one or more of the following points: reduced price, improved service or convenience, such as the one-click checkout, speed of delivery and assistance, products that lead to increased efficiency and productivity, access to a large and available inventory that presents options for the buyer. Sources of revenue. Depending on the business model, several revenue sources may be available to an e-business. Some of these sources of revenue are advertising, affiliation, agent commissions, licensing, sales commissions, sales profits, sponsorship, subscription, syndication, use fees, activities, resources, and capabilities. The activities, resources, and capabilities of a business are sometimes known as its requirements. In order to perform the activities required to carry out the mission of the business, certain resources are needed. For example, employees with certain skills or capabilities. They are needed to perform activities correctly and efficiently. Now we will discuss technology infrastructure. E-business infrastructure consists of the products and services needed to build or run e-business applications. E-business infrastructure should be flexible, reliable, scalable, and quickly deployed to keep up with the ever-changing, unpredictable advances in technology. Enterprises' e-business infrastructures are growing larger and more complex all the time. Internet and World Wide Web. The Internet is an interconnected network of thousands of networks and millions of computers linking businesses, educational institutions, government agencies, and individuals together. The Internet provides around 400 million people around the world and over 170 million people in the United States with services such as email, news groups, shopping, research, instant messaging, music, videos, and news. Internet protocols. Internet protocol is the set of techniques used by many hosts for transmitting data over the Internet. The current version of the Internet Protocol is IPv4, which provides a 32-bit address system. Internet Protocol is a best effort system, meaning that no packet of information sent over it is assured to reach its destination in the same condition it was sent. Often, other protocols are used in tandem with the Internet Protocol for data that for one reason or another must have extremely high fidelity. Now we will learn about e-business payments and security. Online electronic payments are not tantamount to electronic payments. In emergence of e-commerce, credit cards have long been represented by electronic means of payment, such as credit cards in shopping malls. Many hotels and other places could swipe the card, such as POS terminals, ATM cash forms of payments. Security requirements. Authentication of merchant and consumer. Confidentiality of data. Integrity of data. Non-repudiation. E-payments. E-payment is a subset of an e-commerce transaction to include electronic payment for buying and selling goods or services offered through the Internet. Electronic payment systems may be more convenient for international online business due to differences in credit card customer protection laws in different countries. Characteristics of payment systems. The explosive development of electronic commerce in recent years makes the issue of paying over open networks very important. Electronic payment systems are required to bring the necessary infrastructure to facilitate payment over the Internet. They are becoming an essential part of and are greatly necessary for further development of electronic commerce and electronic business. Protocols. A protocol is a special set of rules that endpoints in a telecommunication connection use when they communicate. The protocol determines the type of error checking to be used, data compression method, if any, how the sending device will indicate that it has finished sending a message, how the receiving device will indicate that it has received a message.
You're looking to offer your customers a safe and easy way to pay online. Since all payment processors aren't created equal, it's a really good idea to know the ins and outs of how an online payment functions from start to finish, so you can avoid pitfalls and make the most effective choice to protect and grow your business. The main players in an online payment are you and your customer. To accept credit cards from customers, you'll need a couple of things: an internet merchant account and a payment gateway. On top of that, you can also choose to include an alternative payment method, like PayPal, to service those customers who shy away from using credit cards. Once those pieces are in place, here's what happens next. A customer makes a purchase from your checkout page by submitting their payment information. That information is then sent to the payment gateway. The gateway then encrypts the payment information and shuttles it to a series of approved payment processors and networks for authorization, where the payment is either accepted or declined. That decision then shoots back to your customer, and all that flurry of activity takes place in about 2 seconds. The final step happens after the gateway sends the transaction to the payment processors, and the money is transferred from the customer's bank into your account. So as you've seen, a payment moves through several parties, often with varying providers for each transaction. Since things can get really complex really fast, some payment solutions make things easier to manage by offering everything you need bundled together into an all-in-one solution. If you already have an internet merchant account, some solutions allow you to use a gateway to accept credit cards and offer the option to add alternative payment methods. There are, in fact, all kinds of different solutions out there. Before you decide on the best online payment system for your business, make sure the solution you choose provides solid answers to the following questions. First, is it secure? Search for a payment solution that's PCI compliant, has a trusted name, and make sure it's safe with systems that have never been breached. Second, is it reliable? Look for a solution that's always available with backup systems in place. And finally, is it easy to use? You'll want to get up and running quickly, so your solution should be easy to integrate and flexible, with accessible technical support and resources so that it can meet your needs as your business grows. And to keep things easy for your customers, make sure you can accept an order on your website, in online marketplaces, over the phone, and even in person. When making this important decision, it's worth taking the time to find a payment solution that provides the security, reliability, and ease of use needed to continue earning high marks from your customers as your business enters the world of online payments.
Now let's talk about internet security. As the internet can expose e-business and customers to various risks, it is essential to ensure that adequate consideration is made in relation to the security of your computer system and online activities in order to protect your business's assets, reputation, ability to generate an income, as well as customers' privacy and relationships with customers. As the nature of e-business requires sending information between your business and customers, it's essential that ample protection is provided, as your business and customers may be exposed to risks such as theft, fraud, hackers, viruses, and denial of service, to name a few. By protecting and securing online activities, the risk of such threats adversely affecting your e-business is considerably reduced. Cryptography. Cryptography presents various methods for taking legible, readable data and transforming it into unreadable data for the purpose of secure transmission, and then using a key to transform it back into readable data when it reaches its destination. Security protocols. Security protocols are used to protect computer data and communication in transit. The primary tool used to protect information as it travels across a network is cryptography. Network security. Network security describes systems that protect networks, such as a local area network, or LAN, or wide area network, WAN. Firewalls protect your network by permitting only specified traffic to enter it from the outside, from the internet, for example. Intrusion detection. Intrusion detection systems provide additional layers of protection. Like motion detection systems for homes, they are designed to protect your resources after someone has breached the door or window locks. Weakness of security. A major weakness of firewalls and intrusion detection systems is that they must be managed continuously. This can be a major drain on information technology departments already overburdened with ongoing administration and management tasks. E-commerce security. Companies are doing more and more business on the web as interactions become faster and less expensive. And while gyrations on the stock market and the crash of many .com firms have distracted investors, there will be no retreat from e-business.
E-commerce connects buyers and sellers over the internet as they conduct business interactions. Though it can be incredibly convenient and productive when used successfully, it is also accompanied by risk. Attackers can steal information during the course of an e-commerce transaction. The importance of secure networks cannot be overstated, and it is important to think critically when designing an e-commerce system. Ross Anderson, a security engineering specialist who teaches at the University of Cambridge, provides a framework to think about such security issues. He proposes 4 major components by which to view a security system: incentives, policy, mechanism, and assurance. Let's take a look at these 4 components in the realm of e-commerce security. There are 3 groups involved in any e-commerce transaction: the customer, the company, and the attacker. Companies can be split into 2 broad groups: for-profit groups, and non-profit organizations. For-profit companies have an incentive to use e-commerce to sell their products and services in order to generate profit. Non-profit groups, meanwhile, have an incentive to use e-commerce to get donations as a way to promote their causes and projects. For customers, e-commerce provides access to a larger number of products than they may have immediate physical access to. They can purchase any item and have this item delivered straight to their house. Customers also have the freedom to donate and support causes that they believe in all over the world. Finally, attackers have an incentive to acquire money by stealing the personal information of customers. If an attacker can obtain a buyer's credit card information during an online transaction, he can then use it to make his own purchases later. This discussion about incentives helps us understand exactly what each party gains from e-commerce.
Now let's explore the legal and privacy issues. Businesses engaging in e-commerce with their customers and other businesses must take precautions to ensure the privacy of their data and the integrity of their communications. This includes securing communications over the internet, as well as protecting internal data warehouses from outside attacks. Legal, ethics, and privacy issues. In the information age, technology evolves fast and data travels even faster. It can be difficult for the law to keep up with new technologies and inventive ways to conduct e-business. Client privacy. Internet businesses have a legal obligation to protect the private information of their customers. E-commerce activity often involves collecting secure data such as names and phone numbers associated with email addresses. Protection needs and methodology. E-business is frequently misunderstood as web-based storefronts and other simple electronic services. In reality, e-business is a rich, complex mixture ranging from massive commodity exchanges to auction sites to mom-and-pop shops looking for a low-cost way to increase sales. Increased data access. One of the chief e-business benefits of the Internet is disintermediation, the intermediate information processing steps that employees typically perform in brick-and-mortar businesses, such as typing in an order received over the phone or by mail, are removed from the e-business process. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. The Internet gave the opportunities to customers and businesses to quickly and easily buy and sell products by providing some features like electronic presentation of goods and services, online ordering and payment processing, automated customer account inquiries, and online bill presentation. E-commerce, or electronic commerce, is defined as conducting business communications and transactions via computers and over networks. It's the buying and selling of goods and services through digital communication. The e-business model, like any business model, describes how a company functions, how it provides a product or service, how it generates revenue, and how it will create and adapt to new markets and technologies. Customers of tomorrow would expect businesses to serve them via the Internet, anytime, anywhere in the world, on any device at any time. Therefore, it becomes mandatory to create a web-based infrastructure that can integrate back-office management systems, customers, and business partners to respond to any situation. Effective information security policy has 6 objectives: confidentiality, integrity, availability, legitimate use, identification, authentication, and authorization, auditing or traceability, and non-repudiation. If these objectives could be achieved, it would alleviate most of the information security concerns.